So we're going to start our final chapter of the year. It's going to be acids and bases. And I'm going to start off with some general properties of acids and bases. And you can see on your screen that I have split up acids and bases, and we're going to make little columns for each. Now, these just are general rules. These do not hold true all the time for every single one of them. Most of them are true most of the time, but that's why we call them general rules. In later videos, I will talk about the different types of acid definitions and base definitions, but for right now, we'll just go general properties. First thing, acids are sour. So when you bite into an orange and it's sour, that's citric acid. The candy that you eat that is sour, like Warheads, they coat them with an acid on the outside. So if you have a package of Warheads, look on the back underneath ingredients, and I bet you can find an acid. Bases, on the other hand, are bitter. And those of you that have ever had the opportunity to eat some soap, you probably had a bitter taste in your mouth. Coffee is also bitter. So bases are typically bitter. In terms of touching and feeling, there's another property with bases. Bases are slippery. Go back to your soap. Most, not new soaps, because they have synthetic bases, but most bases are slippery. Acids don't really have a feel. If you get them on you, they tend to tingle or burn, but they really don't have a feeling. Both acids and bases will produce ions in solution. And you guys know from your physical science days that if there's ions in a solution, they will conduct electricity. So both acids and bases, so these will produce ions in solution. And this means that they will conduct electricity. And if a solution that will conduct electricity are these ions have a name, and they are called electrolytes. It's an E, electrolytes. And this is true for acids and bases. They both will produce ions in solution, and they both will conduct electricity. Therefore, acids and bases are both considered electrolytes. So this second one here goes for both acids and bases. This next one goes for both. Acids react with bases to produce salt and water. And that's true for both. I can just simply reverse it and say bases react with acids to produce salt and water. So that's true of both. Let's continue. I'll make this side my acids. Whoa, my page is moving. So we'll make this my acids. I don't know why my page moved. We'll make this side my bases. And acids have a pH that is less than 7. We'll get into what pH really means later. So acids have a pH between 0 and 7. Bases have a pH that is greater than 7. So that means 7 to 14. Let's go on to the next general property. And the next general property would be that acids turn indicators red. And what indicators are, these are substances or paper that simply test acid or base. So pH paper is a type of indicator, and it will tell you acid or base. Bases turn indicators, I ran out of room, indicators blue. So acids, so if you have pH paper and you dip pH paper in acids, it'll turn red. You stick pH paper in bases, it'll turn blue. I have lots of indicators in the lab and I wish you could use them. Things like phenolphthalein and bromoethol blue, and I have litmus paper and Congo red. These are all just indicators. And in general, acids turn indicators red and bases turn indicators blue. There are lots of other general properties, but these are some of the basics. I do have one more. I'll tell you about acids. Acids react with metals to produce hydrogen gas. And you guys remember that H2 is hydrogen gas. So H2, hydrogen gas. So that's a pretty generic group of properties, and I hope that helps you on the worksheets that follow. I'll have the next video which will talk about Arrhenius acids. Have a great day.